Welcome to KAWPS, the podcast. The podcast that is about exposing the corrupt activities of our police force in America.
All it is I Google what the cops do every week, and then put it on a Word document, and then we talk about it.
Excuse me for trying to make us seem a little.
I know. Every time you're like, we're out here exposing the corruption, I want to be like, I just have some Google alerts. And we read from what actual journalists do and try to make it entertaining. Because I'll tell you, on my end of it, it is not entertaining. It is not fun. It is not a fun read whatsoever.
But who else doing Google alerts like us, though?
Yeah,
I don't think a lot of people. I think what we're doing is heroic. I think what we're doing is better than adopting orphans. I think that. Nurses and doctors and surgeons should look up to us and what we do here on a weekly basis. Well, Joffrey does 97% of the thing. I'm just saying, when the next pandemic happens and they outside clapping for the
essential workers,
we need to be a part of those claps. Is all.
Yeah.
Not ask me humbly saying all these. Just humbly, by the way.
The humble version of that is what he's saying. He's not saying the version he said. He's saying the humble version
truly
of it.
Am holding back. What's ironic about this is I did hold back.
Yeah. But that's it. That's what you're listening to. What did the cops do this week?
Tell us, Joffer.
That's why we start every week with the headline roundup. So this is this past week. Jail cops in Rikers Island, New York, have the 14th inmate this year die in their custody. R.I.P. Aramis First.
ICE cops in Texas have a man die in their custody. R.I.P. Pete Sumalo Montejo, the 25th person to officially die in ICE custody this year.
Cop in Missouri is arrested for sexual assault.
Cop in Charleston, South Carolina is arrested for sexual assault.
Cop in Duluth, Minnesota, who previously shot an unarmed man, is now under investigation for 2 separate sexual assaults.
Cop in Freehold, New Jersey, sentenced to 7 years after being caught in a child sex trafficking sting.
Cop in Miami sentenced to 25 years for sexually assaulting young children.
ICE cops in Minneapolis sexually assaulted a Somali woman and mocked her hijab while arresting her.
Border cop in Chicago arrested for sexually assaulting and robbing multiple women.
Cop in Jacksonville, Florida, arrested for stalking after repeatedly pulling over his ex-girlfriend in traffic stops in order to discuss their past relationship.
Juvenile jail cop is arrested for inappropriate relations with underage inmates.
Cop in Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina, is arrested for child sex abuse material.
Jail cop in Dixie County, Florida, is arrested for child sex abuse material.
CE cop.
Sorry, that should say ICE cop.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
I don't know what the fuck that is. ICE cop in Cincinnati arrested for domestic violence and strangulation.
Cop in Portland arrested for domestic violence and strangulation.
Cop in Visalia, California, arrested for domestic violence.
Cop in Las Vegas arrested for domestic violence.
Cop in Gary, Indiana, arrested for domestic violence.
Cop in St. Louis arrested for domestic violence.
Cop in Tinley Park, Illinois, arrested for domestic violence.
Cops in Fayetteville, Arkansas, are facing a lawsuit for holding an innocent woman and her 4-year-old child at gunpoint.
Cop in San Antonio kill a dog.
Cops in Mesa, Arizona kill an unhoused person's dog.
Cop in Atlanta arrested for torturing and killing her own dog.
Damn. Yeah.
Always 1 week, 7 days. God damn. It's like, you would think these are like, I know every time. I know fucking every time.
I think it's good. I think it's good that we are not even getting used to it a little bit.
Anytime we're halfway through the list, I'm always like, this is like activities for like the 3 months. And it'd be like, this is just 7 days worth of shit. Like when we're going through, I'm like, God damn, there's no way this all happened. This is so much this week.
It is, yeah.
I swear.
Sometimes I'm like, wait. This was from last week, and then I check my.
No, that's
nope. Nope, Aurora, Colorado. These are separate incidents.
You really snapped when you decided to put them all together in a list.
Yeah.
God damn, brother.
Yeah.
God damn.
That was my little stroke of creativity. This is where the whole podcast came from. Was from the web series where I'm like, let me try to make this somehow being a comedian and this coming out of research from a comedy show and just sitting on all this like none of this is funny, but no one like we're not talking about how much this is constantly happening and then deciding to like read out all the headlines as if it's a commercial for the show KAWPS. Yeah. That web series is where this podcast originated
Jim,
from.
The seed of the idea of this podcast.
Yeah. And that part, I don't think we'll ever get over it. Just reading all these, it is. Yeah, it is. Crazy.
When we started off like that, it's always like I feel like I'm huffing paint. Like I'll get a buzz. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like a good way to get you into the vibe of the podcast. Like, oh my god, what the fuck? I feel like I'm going through a tunnel. It's like a portal into our podcast. This fucking list that we do. That's always fucked up. But that's the headline roundup of the week. What are we talking about for the show?
So today we'll be talking more in depth about we got a cop being rewarded for sexually harassing his colleague. We got new revelations on the cop who, quote unquote, accidentally killed his partner in Chicago. We got the alleged Antifa member currently locked up for transporting artwork and zines who was let out and then thrown back in. A DEA agent caught working with the cartel. And the apparent debate going on amongst law enforcement on whether or not they should be allowed to fire warning shots.
I can't do that?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't know. Also, another debate, is it zine or zine?
It's zine, not a debate.
Oh.
Only a debate in your head. I'm pretty sure
many people.
It's zine.
Tomato.
Yeah.
Tomato.
Ashton's like, well, what do you call these magazines that I'm reading all day?
How do you shorten it all clicked later, a little bit. Like after you started saying, I was like, that probably is for magazine. Okay, all right. Well, I'm already down here. So I'm standing 10 toes on this.
It might as well.
But on our Patreon, for our super special subscribers who give us $5, you're not more important just because you do capitalism at us, but you are. We do wink at you, like, hey. Thanks, bud.
It's not capitalism. They're just paying for a service.
Is that not capitalism? Do I not know what capitalism? Was that bartering?
Capitalism is more about like the structure of the organizations, like how the profits are shared and like wage labor versus
shut the fuck up,
sharing a profit.
Get mad. I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah. Ash was like, capitalism's just a feeling.
Isn't it a vibe? It's capitalism. Yeah. It's why we broke.
Yeah.
That's how I explain it. It's why we ain't got no money. Capitalism. I don't know. But in our Patreon, we'll be diving deeper into the massive problem going on at Rikers Prison in New York City and in ICE detention facilities around the country. So,
yes, if you like our first two headlines of the day about these people continuing to die in both Rikers Island and in ICE detention centers around the country, we'll be talking about these issues more in depth on our Patreon. But before we dive into today's stories, we got some updates on some previous stories we've covered. If you remember from like this summer in San Diego, there was the terrible killing of Kanoa Wilson. Kanoa Wilson was only 16 years old, and there was a shooting at a train station, and so he was running away from the shooting. And when he turns the corner, San Diego police see a black teenager running after a shooting, and their, instincts and training kick in, and they killed him and murdered him. And, the update from that is San Diego has approved a $30 million settlement for the family of this murdered teenager. Very high, record-breaking settlement that, of course, will not bring this child back, and, of course, will be paid for by the taxpayers of San Diego, California. Another update, we've been covering the saga of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the man who was simply working, I believe, at Home Depot. One of the first sort of high-profile migrants who, again, had no criminal background.
You remember that picture Trump held up? It was like, his tattoos, it says MS-13. And it was just, they printed the words MS-13 on his knuckles, like with Arial Times New Roman font. And he was like, yeah, it says MS-13. So that guy.
Yes. Well, as his case goes back and forth through the federal courts, he is now released from custody again. So he's been twice in custody, once in El Salvador in the fucking terrifying comic villain prison they got over there. But now he is released again. So, thoughts with him and his family. We obviously we're hoping that somehow he can get some peace through all this. And then our last little update is, if you remember, the St. Louis gay bar in which the cops crashed into in the middle of the night, got out, and then beat up and arrested the owners of said gay bar.
Jesus Christ.
Well, their charges the cops pressed on them have been dropped. Insane. And now, after those charges were dropped, this married couple, these two men who own this bar, filed a lawsuit against the cops who crashed into their bar, beat them up, arrested them, put them in handcuffs, and then sued them.
In what world? I don't even understand. How is it? In what world were the cops drunk? I remember.
Well, that's a part of it, is that they never took any sort of test like that. Like, never took a what do you fucking call it?
DUI or fucking
whatever they call it.
Breathalyzer. Yeah, breathalyzer.
Yeah, exactly. Breathalyzer. None of that. None of that. I think what they settled on. What was it? Something. I wrote it down somewhere.
The truth is,
lost control and crashed after being distracted by the car radio is the official report.
I do not believe that at all.
Of course. I mean, come on. When has that ever been a fair excuse?
You want to know what I really believe?
No, I'm sorry, I crashed into your bar. Someone installed a very distracting radio into my car and was playing it against my will.
You know what I'm gonna do? Since you guys are lying, I'm gonna create my own narrative.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be, and I'm gonna spread it like the old, like ancient folklore. I'm gonna spread a tale about you, and it'll ruin your reputation. That's how you kill a man. I think these cops were doing. I don't think it was radio. I think they were giving each other roadhead.
Mm-hmm.
One cop was sucking the other cop off.
You said giving each other. You're saying they were 69
they were
while driving.
No one was paying attention to the road here.
Sure.
Both was mouthful of cop. And then they ran into a gay bar, crashed, and they were like...
Which is like kind of beautiful, kind of like serendipity, they say.
Their shame and homophobia kicked in. They were like, and they had to beat up. The gay cops, because what they really were attacking was
themselves.
And so
that makes sense to me.
I think that's the official story.
Yeah, to me that fills in all the gaps, all my questions I had with all of this.
Well, I think the case is straight here, fellas. There were cops giving each other roadhead, and they crashed into a gay bar because the universe is ironic that way. And,
and it's a tragic story. Personally, I don't think there's any problem with two men exploring each other in that way. Yeah. Just don't do it while driving.
Or being cops. No, don't be, Cops don't deserve head.
Yeah. So let's start our first story here. We're going to Akron, Ohio. Reading here from 3 News. Akron officer gets paid to stay home after sexual harassment finding. A veteran Akron police lieutenant accused of misconduct won't be fired. Instead, he'll be paid to stay home for more than a year. My God. You know how much we would all love to have a year-long paid vacation?
Not doing shit.
And cops get rewarded for that?
This is true.
Committing sexual crimes?
It's the welfare state. It exists. But with the police. This is crazy.
Records obtained by 3 News Investigates show Lieutenant Brian Simcox was placed...
Simcox.
God God damn it. We've already had too much wieners on this podcast episode, and this guy's name is Lieutenant Brian Simcox. God damn it. This isn't right.
Give us something, guys.
Lieutenant Brian Simcox was placed on paid terminal leave after an investigation found that he sexually harassed a coworker. The incident that effectively ended Simcox's nearly 30-year career at the Akron Police Department happened at the funeral for 30-year veteran Detective Clay Cozart. One of their fallen comrades.
This nigga was trying to get him some grief pussy. Yeah. This is crazy. This is crazy. You did that at a funeral, dog?
At a funeral. Look.
Damn, something about that black veil. That 21 gun salute, guys. What?
What'd you say about a ball bearer? No, it's a pallbearer. Chill out. What's wrong with you?
Oh my God. What the fuck? You are a different type of freak, nigga. That's different. That's
Ashton, look, we all grieve differently.
Nigga, that's Diddy
we
levels.
All have different cultural...
You approaching Diddy levels, nigga. You horny at a funeral?
That is Diddy. A funeral that he caused. A funeral that he created the opportunity for there to be a funeral. It's like, why is he smiling in the corner?
Damn. Can he just putting his head in somebody's titties? You got a shoulder I can lean on. He just fucking puts his face in titties. Look,
it's a little bit of Diddy. It's a little bit of Trump hugging Charlie Kirk's wife.
You mean JD Vance?
No, it was Trump and Kirk's wife. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, really? I thought it was JD.
No. JD Vance is that they have their thing. That's God. There's so much happens in this country, but I mean the original meme of him hugging her.
Okay, I guess
if you remember that.
I guess
I don't blame you if you don't remember that. I mean,
I dived in. I was shipping JD and Erica.
You were, yeah.
I was trying to get them together.
Team JD.
How they do like Love Island,
mm-hmm.
but it's that if this was on Epstein Island,
yes,
I'd be like Erica and JD.
Yes. So let's not get distracted. Let's get back to the story at hand. According to a notice of disciplinary charges on July 5th, 2025, Simcox was walking by a female officer who at the time had less than 2 years of experience in a role with the Akron Police Department. Simcox signaled like he was giving her a high five. Instead, the report said he slapped her derriere.
These cops are so like just like simple-minded and like base primal, like it's like such simple caveman behavior that and like stupidity that that sentence also could have ended with, and he gave her a titty twister in front of.
It's like they're in a fraternity before the Me Too movement. Like not even a fraternity today.
And there's no education involved whatsoever.
A fraternity from the 70s.
A fraternity where,
where they say things like derriere.
Well, they're literally the fraternal order of the...
Yeah. Why do these cops keep fraternizing in these terrible ways?
Oh, yeah. They have like secret rituals and...
Yeah. But yeah, you know... Just at a funeral, just be like, this is what he would have wanted.
None of these niggas is good. None of these niggas is good. This is just depraved, unhinged behavior.
Yeah.
I know we say it every week. I just hate that the symbol they wear is a symbol of like peace, justice. Yeah. These are the moral arbiters. And in every story, I know I get caught. I feel like a fucking, I'm playing peekaboo. Like, what? Like, how do I explain it? It's like, I don't know why I'm shocked every time.
Yeah.
I guess it's just, the symbol is like, man, you are supposed to be this, but you are the most corrupt, dirty
type of person. Do you remember the movie Wedding Crashers?
Yeah.
And so it was Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn, and they would exploit the emotional state women would be in at weddings and take advantage of that, try to get laid. And then towards the end of that, I forget how they get there, but they meet like some other guy who's like connected to one of them, and Will Ferrell plays this character, and he says what he does is he does funeral crashing, and he goes to funerals because women are like even more, and then and they portrayed like Will Ferrell's character as like a real piece of shit, like the lowest of the low. It was like the turning point for one of the characters to like change his ways. Yes. A Will Ferrell character, cartoonish piece of shit. The guy who played Anchorman.
You couldn't even make this guy up. There's no way.
This guy whose name is Simcox.
A literal character.
Yeah.
Literal.
Yeah.
Like if someone wrote this, you'd be like, "That's Simcox, bro."
That's change the name.
Come on, dude. Okay, I get where you're going, but that's a little heavy-handed.
Funerals, come on, bro.
We get the metaphor.
A funeral at a fallen police officer? Come on, bro.
Okay, imagine he's just a walking penis. Simcox is going to be his name. So people really get the message. It's like, you heavy. This is like Tyler Perry writing. This is like fucking, it's just so on the nose with it. But goddamn.
Let's keep going here. There is more. So it also notes that, wait. Let me back up. The notice says Simcox texted the female officer and apologized, which the city of Akron used as an admission of guilt. One man's apology is another city's evidence.
Oh God! That's gonna send the wrong.
I can't even say sorry anymore. I can't even say sorry to a woman for assaulting her during a funeral.
That is gonna send the wrong message.
Chivalry really is dead, folks.
That one woman's ass to you.
I'm still getting paid though, right? All right.
That's so funny. He had to be drunk at that funeral. He sobered up after the funeral. Was like, oh yeah. Fuck! I slapped her ass. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, look.
He went in for. She was like, hi. She raised her hand, high five, and he fucking smacked her ass like a fucking baseball coach. First off, you have
during the somberest of occasions.
This nigga, and he's been on the
30-year career.
So this is an old nigga.
Yeah.
This is just old dudes.
Yeah.
He was like, man, before the Me Too movement, I was slapping ass all up and down the funerals. Funerals is where you get the pussy. Funerals before the invention of Twitter and the iPhone and women's rights, man, you can go to a funeral, just motorboat the widow right there in the front row.
Remember all the fun we used to have at funerals back in the day? Back before the woke police came in, started policing the real police.
That tear handkerchief doubles as a jizz handkerchief. You can fucking.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. No. Let's. All right. The article keeps going, but I think we've gotten and we're done. I don't want to keep talking about that guy. Now we're going to go to Chicago.
Wait, hold on. One more fact about that. He got 233 hours of sick leave.
Yeah, like that's why he didn't take any of his sick leave, so it has accumulated and now has been transformed into pay. And so he's getting a ton of pay for a year for slapping a girl's ass during a funeral.
Listen, I don't know how to deliver this joke, but hey,
let's hear it.
233 hours of sick leave. Brother, you're sick and you need to leave.
There you go. I think that's exactly how you would deliver that. That is the official stance they
brother,
took.
You're sick and you need to leave. Okay,
yeah.
All right, let's get the fuck out of this story.
Comp time. It's about time you computate how nasty you are and get the fuck out of here. This is why we do it, folks. Guys, this is why.
Guys,
sometimes I'm like, why does this podcast exist?
For moments like this.
Should this be a comedy podcast?
The release I got from it, I don't know if nobody else enjoy it. Hey, in this cranium, dopamine going off.
And now we go to our next story. All
right.
So this is, if you remember, a few months ago, me and Ashton talked about a bit of a mysterious story in certain ways of a cop who was tragically killed in the line of duty. And the initial reporting was all about, there were They were going after some drug dealers. The drug dealers, took out this cop. Turns out that wasn't the case. Turns out it was friendly fire. Turns out she was killed by a fellow police officer in the line of duty. But then what me and Ashton talked about was the fact that he had a history of assaulting female officers at the Chicago Police Department. But now we got a bit of a bombshell here on this story. So, Ashton, I'll just let you take it away.
We're in Chicago with it. CBS Chicago. Family of fallen officer Crystal Rivera sues Chicago police, claims warning signs about partner were ignored. A wrongful death lawsuit reveals new allegations about what led up to the death of Chicago police officer Crystal Rivera this past June. And I'm sorry, I don't know that.
Excoriates.
All right, we learn new words. And excoriates the officer who fired the shot that killed her as a reckless and as someone who should never have been on the force. The lawsuit, announced by an attorney Antonio Romanucci of the firm Romanucci and Blandon, accuses the Chicago Police Department of ignoring warning signs about Officer Carlos Baker that turned deadly. The Riviera family and their attorneys said she and Baker had been dating on and off for 2 years, and that Riviera had broken off the relationship when she realized he'd been dating and living with another woman. They said she asked to be separated professionally from him, too. Riviera was shot and killed by her partner a few weeks later. On June 5th, police said Riviera was unintentionally shot and killed by Officer Baker, her partner in the field and ex-boyfriend, while the two were chasing a suspect into an apartment building in the 8200 block of South Drexel Avenue in the East Chatham neighborhood.
So let's pause. This is insane. This is huge. Nuts. What the fuck?
How did they nuts?
They are former lovers.
They knew. No, they knew that. They knew that.
They definitely knew that.
There's no way nobody on that fucking force knew that. Oh, we're gonna learn. They knew that. By the way,
yeah.
The lady who died, the cop who died, Officer Crystal Rivera, we're gonna see, was requesting, I don't want to work with this guy anymore. We broke up. We'll see.
Yeah, but I mean, it's gone from she was killed by these criminals to she was killed accidentally in friendly fire to she was killed accidentally in friendly fire by a guy who she was romantically involved with and she had just broken up with.
How quickly the cops will manipulate the media, the truth, just to protect themselves and each other. It's literally there needs to, I mean, I know we have the courts, but there needs to be like internal affairs, whatever that shit is not real, because they just are allowed to come out and have a straight up lying narrative. How come we cannot sue or like hold anybody accountable when like the police PR, when anytime like something happens? I think the PR people should be like, whether if it's a chief of police who's like approving the messaging, if your messaging is this off on a story, there needs that. Oh, we have this entity that is willing to lie to us. It's like,
I mean, that's the brotherhood of the police, right? It's like that's like one of the few actual principles that the police seem to like consistently uphold is to just have each other's backs. And I think that it's so deeply culturally ingrained that it's like probably just like pretty much reflexive, right? Like without even thinking about what is the actual facts, the actual details that are relevant, they're just going to know that they're never going to blame each other. They're always going to blame the outside. They're always going to protect each other.
It's so like
even when one of their own gets killed, one of your own has been killed, and you know what justice could look like in this situation, but instead you are not pursuing justice. You are protecting your one who is still alive
because you don't want to tarnish any image of the police. But it's like, bro, you are. It's like trying to fucking clean a pig. Like, oh, actually, yeah, it's a pretty apt metaphor. It is trying to clean a pig. It's gonna roll around with shit anyway. So it's like, good luck.
This guy, Carlos Baker. I don't know. To me, I don't want to be unfair, but doesn't seem like a great guy. He was caught cheating. I mean, it all. Look, obviously, you kill your ex. Like, there's no. Yeah. There's no like. It's gonna be, you're a bad guy. Obviously, you're a psycho. You're a murderer. But the fact that like she caught him cheating. And he's like, fuck, I gotta. She did the worst thing you could do to someone in a relationship. She caught me cheating.
Yeah.
she's got to go. And
I obviously had to end things with her. Well, it's like there were other ways you could have did that, and he fucking took her life. That is, he obviously took advantage of a fucking situation. And I'm gonna keep reading, but
let's keep going because you as you mentioned, it goes further into that.
In August, Baker was stripped of his police powers following a separate incident following allegations that he attacked an off-duty female police officer at District Bar and Grill in Wicker Park. CBS News Chicago reported Baker has made calls to neighboring businesses on Milwaukee Avenue after that incident and to a CBS News Chicago reporter looking for surveillance video of that incident. CBS News Chicago investigators have found at least 10 complaints filed against Baker since he was hired in 2021. They include a variety of allegations ranging from excessive force to improper stops to unprofessional behavior. The lawsuit was filed by Riviera's mother and names both the city and Officer Baker, which is fucking nuts. The mom has to seek justice instead of the justice system.
Yeah, the cops. I mean, like we just said, one of your own was just killed. I mean, isn't that supposed to be the ultimate thing? They took one of us. Isn't that when you go Punisher mode? Yeah, isn't that when all bets are off?
I'm kicking kids. I don't give a fuck. Cops, kids, dogs, old people. Yeah, you kill a fucking. They don't give a fuck. You kill a cop. You remember what they did to Chris Dorner?
Yeah.
They fucking anytime a guy kills a cop, they go nigga. They send robots. They fucking.
Yeah. And the media always calls them cop killers. Yeah. That phrase always kind of irked me of just like. How charged that phrase is. Cop killer. Cop killer. Well, here we got a cop killer, and the cops are protecting him. Seems like the cop they're protecting, because even before this, I mean, this is beyond like there were signs. He's literally assaulting women, and not even women, female officers. Like again, your own.
Blatantly. But also it's just like I always get so like. It's such a reminder. It's like a self-admission. It's like, oh yeah, these people, they aren't. If they cared about people's safety and they cared about like having a police force that's like just and noble and these scions of like morality or whatever you want to call them, like that all goes out the window when like you just read like this guy has 21 different complaints about like beating up women and it's like you guys just keep. Violent crime. That's what it's about. We need an army of violent people, so it makes sense that these violent people are perpetuating violence even against.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like going to be a coincidence that all these people who one want to be cops and two have been in this profession now for years seem to have these violent tendencies. Yeah. But on your point, with specifically the Chicago police force, this is a problem. ProPublica, who we use their reporting a lot. They do a lot of great work. They have done investigations specifically on the Chicago Police Department and how there's so much evidence of sexual misconduct within the Chicago police force that goes unchecked. Not only do they not face consequences for assaulting, again, their own, like the female, not just civilians, but female officers, their own. And not only are they not getting consequences for it, they are being actively promoted. And so here we have another example of a cop physically assaulting another female cop. It goes unchecked. And now look what happens. They fucking killed a female cop. And the Chicago police is trying to cover it up. Yeah. This man is free right now. He has no charges against him whatsoever.
What clear sign of a corrupt institution? Like you have no who answers for these things? Like this is a clear sign that the whole institution as a whole is corrupt. I know you were talking about it last week. You were telling me like because there's no national, they've worked it to where each police department is like its own independent fucking nation, I guess, or whatever the fuck you were describing. They all have their own.
It's just like, it's states' law. It's like it's all about, U.S. or states' rights.
Sure.
And we get to have our own. Leave the feds out of this. So yeah, each state, it's all separate. It's all disparate. It's not connected.
Yeah, I don't even like.
It's like I get like the sentiment of just like, where do we even begin?
Yeah,
how do we even begin if all of these entities are separated? Yeah, it would take a huge new federal like power grab to amongst the police to be able to really do something about these issues that are so deep rooted and so crazy. Like, there's too much to fucking talk about. Like every week,
I'm looking at that thing's broke. That thing is not only is it fucking not working, it's spewing out the worst shit in the world. It's like if your bathtub would start spewing, instead of water, it was spewing out fucking bile. You're like, oh, this thing is broken. We gotta fix this, but no one's fixing it, and they just keep it. It gets not exhausting, but it's like, damn, this is like clearly a corrupt institution, but there's not going to be any type of. We're watching them in the media lie to us. We just look at the timeline events of the things they just said and just stacking up like, you said this, you said this, you said this. The story's evolved, and in each level of the evolution of the story, you come out looking, you're like a liar. And how can we trust you? You want to talk about erosion of like trust with the police and like community? Fucking this. Even if this hasn't got nothing to do with community members, this is like internal shit. And it's like, this makes me not trust you as an entity. And you didn't even do nothing to the community. You're doing this shit to yourself. That is terrifying.
That is a great point. It's like it really shows what their base instincts are. Yeah, like we are going to protect the man who killed the woman, rather than, again, it's one of your own. You know, all that justice for the brotherhood just completely apparently goes out the window, to the point where, again, this guy is facing no charges. He is still on the payroll. He is not currently working, but he's on the payroll. He's not facing any charges. The mother is having to file her own lawsuit. And again, as we've talked about so much throughout the year, the taxpayers, the residents of the city of Chicago are again going to be the ones to foot this bill. And they're already many times over budget when it comes to police lawsuits. So,
and I'll read this because it's like just to further color in. It's like we're not just saying he killed this lady. It's like in May. Well, first I'll read. Attorneys claim Officer Baker struggled to accept the end of a romantic relationship he had with Officer Rivera. The lawsuit said that the breakup stemmed from his infidelity and led to tensions between the two before Officer Rivera was shot. Ramanucci said Baker and Rivera entered into a romantic relationship in early 2023, and Chicago police supervisors knew about the relationship by March of that year. In May of this year, Ramanucci said Rivera ended the relationship because of Baker's infidelity. One day in June, Baker showed up unannounced at Rivera's home, according to Ramanucci. The very next day, Rivera was shot, according to Ramanucci. Attorney said after firing and striking Rivera in the back, Baker then ran in the opposite direction without providing medical aid or calling for help.
Absolutely insane. Fucking murder. Fucking murder. I mean, there's just no way you can justify that. You could always argue some sort of plausible deniability that he shot her on accident. It doesn't matter that they had just broken up. It doesn't matter that he was stalking her the day before. That doesn't prove that when he shot, it was intentional. Well, he shot her on accident and then he runs away. Yeah. And lets her bleed out and die.
If you're not just a bad boyfriend, you're a bitch ass cop. You're a bitch ass partner. Why would I, like, just even if you're a cop, I wouldn't even want you as a partner, like, let alone ignoring the reality of the situation is he shot his fucking girlfriend.
I get what you're saying. If you look at it in the most naive way possible, it's still murderous negligence.
Yeah, you fucking let your partner get shot. You shot your partner, and then you ran away. That's fucking nuts. And then the next level of evil, obviously, is what the truth is. Nigga shot her on purpose.
Yeah.
Because he was dating her and trying to fucking,
it's femicide. He killed his ex-girlfriend and did it in the line of duty to try to somehow get away with it. And the cops seem to have his fucking back. I mean, this is a really, really crazy story.
This goes to my point. Don't date cops. Even if you're a cop. Do not date cops. Just dead ass serious. I mean, each and every Yeah, I don't even want to make jokes. This lady passed. Like, it just sucks. You know.
But yeah, I think we
can. We're all good
here. We can move on. We'll keep y'all updated on this absolutely crazy story.
I would say cop love. They don't even make movies about that shit. There's a reason why. Because that shit ain't romantic at all. That shit ain't like fucking. But who'd you beat to? It's just.
What about Lil Wayne's song?
That's not cop. That's not like.
That's true.
That's criminal. At cop.
Yeah,
that's actually more. That's
actually kind of hot. That's like actually, you know.
What? No, that's it. That's what stuff.
That's like Romeo and Juliet, right?
The fucking
two opposing,
and then they come together. They love things. He's a criminal. She's beats, fucking shoots criminals in the neck. They come together. Yeah. But yeah, crackhead love is more fucking hopeful than cop love. I stand. That shit is, you know.
Yeah. Cop Love would be a Lil Wayne song he would write in 2025.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, he would. Yeah. After
that he performs at Kamala Harris's backyard.
No, not at Kamala's. At Trump was he got pardoned for Trump. So
he voted for Trump, but he also performed at a Kamala event, private Kamala event. I don't know if you saw that, but.
And, this nigga is truly an alien. What? This nigga got me pulling my dreads out.
Did that happen? As I say it, I'm like, that didn't happen. Let me see.
No way. He got pardoned by Trump and performed at a Kamala event.
Let me see.
That's fucking insane. If he did that, I also respect it a little. Like this nigga.
Yeah. Kamala Harris and Lil Wayne's connection involves a viral moment from a September 2023 event celebrating hip hop's 50th anniversry at her official residence, where he performed hits, including the famously ironic Mrs. Officer.
Oh my God!
Which is Kamala. That's Kamala. Oh, do they got a picture?
I want to start this next thought. This is dedicated to you, Miss Harris. Pussy, money, weed. Pussy, money, weed. Pussy, money, weed. Fucking, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't actually. That's actually.
It summons complicated feelings and emotions.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, but we'll keep y'all updated on the fucked up shit going on in Chicago
and
police.
Lil Wayne's next political performance.
And Lil Wayne, yeah. So now we are going to Dallas, and we're talking about Antifa. Reading here from The Intercept. Alleged Antifa cell member says he was accidentally released from jail. For 5 months, Daniel Sanchez Estrada was the prisoner of a government that has branded him an Antifa cell operative. He was accused of moving a box of anarchist zines from one suburb of Dallas to another after a protest against ICE. On the day before Thanksgiving, he was released without warning or explanation. He walked out to a jail parking lot, relishing the fresh air and watching over his shoulder. During the week that followed, Sanchez Estrada savored his time with family members and worried that his release might have been on accident. Apparently, he was right. On Thursday, Sanchez Estrada turned himself in to await trial that could be months away. God, that sucks to be like, fuck. Damn it, these fucking morons are gonna make me turn myself in, because if I don't, they're gonna fucking probably drone bomb me and label me a prison escape artist.
And it's like off of Antifa.
Off of Antifa, off of already dumb shit.
Oh, did you see I think it was like that some chief strategist of the FBI was getting grilled by.
The hearing.
Yeah. I mean,
that was hilarious.
But sure, these things they always feel like. For sure.
He was like, Antifa is the #1 domestic terror threat we have in America. By and far away, they were a dangerous organization, and we are on top of them. And the guy was like, where are they headquartered at? And he was like,
okay. It's more like a metaphorical home, like mentally. Like, Antifa is in all of us. It's, it's kind of like Atlantis.
Yeah.
That's where they're headquartered in Atlantis. That's what I'm actually going to stick with. So, We're on a search for Atlantis to find.
And we're close. We got this man, Estrada Sanchez. He's got a green card.
I think they're underwater. You know,
he takes really long showers, makes us think that he's using the powers of Neptune for evil.
Yeah, so far, we got Little Mermaid.
I mean, how we keep talking about the fall of grace of the FBI. Used to be a respectable organization going toe-to-toe with the civil rights movement. But now, look at this shit. They are unsuccessfully convincing America of this threat of Antifa.
Well, I think
no one believes in Antifa. Yeah. They're arresting this guy, and then they just release him on accident. But they're supposed to be terrorists. You're releasing terrorists on accident.
Yeah, which is funny. It's like everybody's getting on this guy. It's like, what the fuck's going on there? Where they're just like releasing people on accident. Who else have you released?
Yeah.
Trump being like, they're releasing the criminals. Nigga, yo people, y'all releasing literally. Like your own people you're labeling criminals. But two, it's like, duh, this is like one, that's what makes the Republic, like these guys getting power over institutions so dangerous, is like we knew it would be this, is that they make up enemies in their mind. They're delusional. They like shadow boxing niggas in their mind, and they acting like, they're like the tweakers on the subway who are like fighting somebody in their mind, but they actually fight a person in real life. Like they're like it physically affects people in reality. Like they made up enemies in their minds, and then they mask that enemy onto you, and it gives them the justification to treat you however you want. It's like mass hypnosis.
Yeah, I think it's a measurement. It's a good like litmus test of how dumb America has gotten. Is like the quality of the lies that we are being served. Because I remember when I was a little kid, and me and Ashton both grew up in Texas, so we know what the politics were like back then. And I remember as a little kid when the media started saying that Iraq did 9/11, and as a little kid, I was like, no, that was Al-Qaeda. They were a group of terrorists in Afghanistan. No, they didn't. And that was then. That was extremely stupid. That ended up killing 1 million people. Insane. But at least Iraq and Al-Qaeda both existed in the first place. And the connection they made was false. Now they're creating shit out of thin air. Not only we got Antifa, we also got, I don't know if you've seen this Cartel del Sol. So this is the Venezuelan cartel that, again, is not real. It is real in that within Venezuela, like they call when they refer to Cartel del Sol, they are referring to like basically the corruption within their own military. And a lot of military people wear like this certain insignia that has like a sun on it, sol in Spanish. And so they say internally, like kind of sarcastically, they call them a cartel del Sol. So that's like them being like funny, you know? And the U.S. government like took that and just fucking ran with it as if it is a real cartel, which it is not.
But to get this is like, man, I always like movie villain shit, where like movie villain levels of propaganda, where it's like, well, we can just make up whatever lie. They're going to eat up whatever stupid ass lie we want. Yeah. We want their oil. The truth is, we want their oil.
Like these fisher boats we're supposed to believe that they were attempting to paddle their way into America from the Caribbean.
That's the drug. That's how they're doing
in little fish boats.
Yeah. Insane. Actually insane. But no.
Tren de Aragua, again, Tren de Aragua exists in the U.S. Tren de Aragua is a prison gang in Venezuela. Do you know how many Venezuelan prisons are in America? Zero.
I'm like,
it's all the quality of lie has gotten so bad and so insane that it's like it's hardly an attempt at all.
No, it's not. But it's like just blatantly lying to our face, to where the population is smart enough to where it's like, you're lying. No one believes. Even Republicans, partly some of them.
They're splitting because of the Jeffrey Epstein lie. And so there was another obvious lie that's the one that's actually starting to catch up with him. Then they're picking up. You see Tucker Carlson going to Qatar and talking to Palestinians in Gaza. Like, okay, real things are happening in MAGA because I guess MAGA, one lie too many with the Epstein.
The cracks are like barely, but that's like part of this is like the Venezuela shit is just like we're losing against China, so we're gonna double down in the Western Hemisphere and do America First policies. We're gonna just basically take resources from over here and build up our shit here. So we're targeting Venezuela. And it's with a lot, and in order to justify someone, a guy who's a president who's like, I've stopped 9 wars. I've stopped so many wars, and it's like he said the reason why he kept saying I've stopped so many wars is so he's like I can have this war since I stopped 9 wars.
No, he's always had a hard on for Venezuela. In his first administration, he was talking about taking their oil. Now he's got Marco Rubio at the helm. He's the guy. What do they call it? Gusanos. He's like the white Cuban who is mad that the communists stole his slave plantation. Like that stereotype of a Cuban person, that is Marco Rubio. And so he's getting to do his dream of eventually getting to Cuba, but it's going to be through Venezuela first, right? There's more that they can, there's more like opportunity in taking Venezuela rather than Cuba, which we've economically destroyed already for decades. They don't have all the oil reserves that Venezuela has. But let's real quickly get back to this story of this guy who he's in prison right now for transporting zines. That is the level we're at. He his wife was rounded up in this protest in an ICE facility somewhere around Dallas that got hairy, and an ICE agent, someone working for the government, some Fed, was shot, and his wife did not do that. They know who shot that person. That person is in custody. I'm sure he's going to be locked away forever. His wife was maybe shooting off some fireworks, maybe vandalizing, It seemed like, and so this is what they're calling Antifa. It's just like these a type of activist who, like, the ones who do the direct actions, right? It's like you go to protest, there's like tiers of like people doing protests, right? And it's like there's the very bottom tier of like liberals who will go to like a No King protest every once in a while. Whenever Trump like first gets elected, they'll go to a protest and they'll stop. And then there's like the next level of like, okay, you're going fairly often, Free Palestine, BLM, whatever, kind of how it goes, when you want to go home. And then there's like the next tier down who they're like, we're going to wear all black. We might do some direct action. We might chain ourselves in front of people getting people getting evicted. We might go and try to block the entrance to a company manufacturing weapons that's going to go to Palestine. These are the people they seem to be labeling as Antifa.
You've seen one battle after another? I feel like you haven't seen
I have not.
Okay, well, it's for the people who have. It's the Leonardo DiCaprio, Tiana Taylor faction. They'll get that reference. You got to watch that movie. It's really good. But you'd like it.
All right, I'll watch it.
But yeah, it's the Antifa.
Because there's no, like, as in that FBI hearing, as in that congressional hearing, they can't really pinpoint any sort of terror, organized terror, when it comes to Antifa. What they can find is leftist activists doing direct actions and doing vandalism. And then, yes, it does get to, you can keep going down that road and you'll get someone who, like in this case, did shoot an ICE agent. That guy's in jail. He's going to be in prison forever. But I can guarantee you he's not part of some Al-Qaeda-esque terror organization.
Yeah,
it's just leftist activism.
But the administration, it targets its political rivals, and that goes from not just like him Trump removing the Biden's family pardons. You remember when Joe Biden was like, "I'm going to pre-pardon my family because he's going to try to." He literally is going to try to go after my kids. So Joe Biden like pre-pardoned his kids. And then it's because we have a president who goes after political opponents, and that goes all the way down to he's like, he's galvanized his base to be like anybody who even has like leftist correct opinions, who like sees reality for what it is. Like, if you aren't objectively lying to yourself and don't want to live in like a white supremacist world or viewpoint of America, just like if you reject that ideology, which you obviously should, if you just have a normal human heart, you are an enemy of the state. They are in control of the state. It's thought policing. It's literally thought policing, and it's like fucking 1984 ass shit where you're a person who has the rights that they fight. They're like, oh, we're America, Constitution. We're fighting for like rights of freedom of speech. It's so ironic, the things that they yell. It's so loudly.
The Trump campaign in 2016 was being spearheaded by people who constantly commented 1984 on Facebook and were talking about a billionaire pedophile ring. 10 years later, we have 1984-esque thought policing going on with a guy who now we know the billionaire pedophile. Like they were making some points. They were dropping some bars in hindsight, but now that those things have actually been revealed, they want nothing to do with it.
It's the most beautiful part. This is how history is going to like play out. We're watching it. We watched it happen. When all this hopefully ends, and you take the Trump rhetoric and their actions, and you look at it in scope, and you see what they're yelling, and you see what they do, and you just realize it's all an admission of like what they're doing. Oh no, you can't say anything anymore. You can't say anything anymore. You can't say anything anymore. It's always like the pedophiles, they're everywhere. It's like the pedophiles are coming from inside the house. It's everything they say is an admission, and it's been that way since fucking 2016. It's always it's like the most advanced Freudian slip. It's like, fuck, it ain't no Freudian slipping. This shit, them niggas Freudian tumbling down the stairs. These niggas is like, just fucking everything they do.
Banana peels everywhere.
No, but anything they say, every single thing they say, like where they act like they're the victim, I know they're about to perpetrate. They're about to do that to other people.
That's how I feel about like the Israeli government. But when it comes to just like the regular Trump supporters, I just feel like they've been duped, and the level of irony just seems like a sort of side, like a sort of like a unintentional sort of aspect of it. It just so happened.
It just so happened that every single thing they do is always foreshadowed by them in their own chants. Lock her up, and then we turn around. This nigga needs to be locked, or Trump needs to be locked.
That it's their guy who's the guy that is guilty of the things that they're angry about.
Yeah, I just don't not see people seeing like in the future being like everything that they were just admitting shit. They were just like telling you what their playbook was gonna be.
Sure. Now, I wouldn't say admitting. It's not like they're pedophiles, but they're angry at pedophiles. The language, and their main guy is a pedophile. I think that
they're thought leaders who are, they go to these Republican think tanks and they come up with the Project 2025s and the Project 2026, and they come up with the language and rhetoric that it just doesn't come out of vacuum. These are the Stephen Millers, the Jared Kushners of the world, the guy who's like pushing, I forgot his name. There's a guy who's pushing J.D. Vance, who's like, he has a certain, it's like Yarden.
I know who you're talking about, yeah.
Whatever his name is.
Billionaire guy.
These are they're the thought leaders, and they come up with the language. Like, the language of it is the most important thing, because once they just find the rhetoric and they keep repeating it, it gets into their bases. Like, it's the whatever the anti-woke mind virus they have.
Yeah.
And I think that they be playing in our faces, and I do think that the people up top who coming up, I
don't think they're that good.
I know you don't think that.
I don't think they're like, this is the next thing we're gonna say. I think they're constantly saying bullshit, and some of it sticks. But most of it does not stick.
I think there is enough evidence in like behavioral psychology to understand how a group of mass people work, and I think there's enough people who you can call them like mad, like fake ass mad scientists, but for like it's what they had this in like Nazi fucking America. The reason why propaganda is so strong, people understand what propaganda is and how it works, and the repetition of it, and the repetition of language, and how you keep repeating a message over and over and over, people start hum to that beat or whatever you want to call it. I do think the Republican Party we don't see it, but there is a level of the think tanks repeat this message over and over and over and over. And I do think there is the messages that they're coming up with. I do think these niggas know how to use language to incept your subconscious. And I know I'm going too deep, but I do think we have to go that deep. I do think you have to go into like what the essence of propaganda is, which is messaging, and how does that messaging work? It's through repetition. And like, okay, if I want a goal, what messaging do I need to? I just think there's a lot more thought.
No, I get what you're. What the picture you're painting? Yeah, I can't completely deny that people are at the very least working on that.
That's what I mean.
And you're right. Those think tanks, all that stuff, that's all about messaging, and that is what they're working on.
Woke, all these things that just popped up out of nowhere. They didn't pop up out of nowhere. They popped up from a think tank to say this is for 2025 for the next 4 months. Everybody say this. Everybody go after this. Or DEI. Everybody say this. Go after this. And now it's black pilots. It's all this. It's just all,
Antifa probably was like
literally.
Yeah.
How do you stop? They're literally using language that if you just stopped and like broke down the etymology of Antifa, anti-fascist. I hate that. Wait. Anybody with a human mind and knows what a fascism is like, I'm anti-fascist. They call Antifa leftists. They call them fascists. So in their mind, they'd be like anti-fascist. If they see communism, anything that's like close to communism or socialism, they'll call it fascist because it's the government.
Or someone who voted for Kamala Harris.
Fascist. Making them anti-fascist.
Anti-fascist.
But it's the same with, like with woke. Woke was a proper thing, but they use language and repetition to make you think.
Woke used to be about how the Greeks stole from the Egyptians.
It was.
No.
No. You will be woke once you understand Pythagoras is a lying son of a bitch. If you fuck with any of that bullshit, you think he invented triangles? That's crazy.
Hell no.
Nigga, triangles was around.
I used to think that back when I was asleep.
You were asleep.
But Ashton woke me up.
You up.
Yeah, you did.
Let you know that was a lying ass white man. And you believe, if you can see them lying about white history in America, what you think they think? You think they ain't gonna lie about the whole thing?
Yeah, bro, you sold me.
You don't think they just expanded on that? You think what? Greek gods is just the Orisha. All right, I'm done. All right, we gotta go.
Yeah, we'll move on. But I'm sorry, we got a little distracted from this story. But I think we were having fun. But I'll just reiterate that this man, his wife was maybe shooting some fireworks. He was not even at the fucking protest. All he did was take some zines and move them from one house to another house. He's in federal prison for that shit. So this is a absolutely insane, absurd, terrifying story. And they released him on accident. Now he's back. So.
But did he go to jail? I do want to clarify. Did he go to jail because he went and did that interview? Was him going and doing that interview being like, I think
no, what it was that his wife was telling him, his wife was talking to him on the jail phone. Mm-hmm. The FBI was listening in on that, and then they tracked him driving from one house to another, and then arrested him, went to see what he was transporting for her, because she told him to transport to move some stuff. Mm-hmm. And it was just like literally anarchist zines and like leftist artwork. And he is in prison around charges that are like, let me see. I don't have the exact charges in front of me, but they're saying that Antifa's terrorist. He's in federal prison right now. Yeah. He's facing charges of serious crimes.
Fucking shit.
Which again, they let him out on accident. This is the terrorists that they're so afraid of. They're letting him out on accident and then throwing them back in. So. Now we're going to go to another truly insane story. Ashton, you got this one reading from AP.
Oaktown, Virginia, via AP. Former DEA agent charged with agreeing to launder millions of dollars for Mexican drug cartel. Damn, sounds like a good movie plot. What's your elevator pitch? A former DEA agent charged with agreeing to launder millions of dollars for Mexican drug cartel.
Hey, also like a bad movie.
Steven Seagal is in this movie.
There's a couple really good movies like this and a bunch of really bad movies.
He's sitting in every scene. He just never stands.
He's sweating.
He doesn't come here. He doesn't move. Leave his seat.
I'm gonna go to after this, you put him in post. I'm just going to go like this with my arms. Oh, I'm tired. Give me a second.
Green screaming jumping out of the building. Ah! Yeah. It's explosion. Yeah. Okay, that's my day.
You're watching. You're like, he didn't have a cigarette before. When did he light that?
Just terrible inconsistencies. Yeah, his mouth has been like they had to Photoshop his lips because he just didn't get the right words. But let's get into the story. A former high-level agent with the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration and an associate have been charged with conspiring to launder millions of dollars and obtain military-grade firearms and explosive for a Mexican drug cartel, according to an indictment unsealed Friday in New York. I love saying the word military-grade. That shit just sounds hard. Paul Campo, 61, of Oakton, Virginia, who retired from the DEA in 2016 after a 25-year career, and Robert Cincy, 75, of Boca Raton, Florida. Of course, where else do 75-year-olds come from?
If you go to Florida to retire, just retire, bro. What are you doing?
That's what I love about these old niggas. They're like, one last score.
I ain't done yet.
I got one last.
Yeah.
This is a big part of the story for me. The fact that they're 75.
They're going back home. They're like, it's just them and their wives, and they're like, God, I gotta find something.
This is the only thing I haven't had an erection in 20 years. I needed this.
Yeah, it's either talk to my wife or join the cartel. Oh, I gotta think about this one.
Honey, I'll be gone for 2 weeks. But we're caught, Boca Raton, Florida. We're caught in a sting involving a law enforcement informant who posed as a member of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, prosecutors said. The cartel, also known as CJNG, was designated as a foreign terrorist organization by the U.S. in February.
Is there any organization left that's not a terrorist organization?
The Girl Scouts Club of America.
Everything's looking terrorist now. Goddamn. Being accused of terrorist used to mean something.
Miss Rachel is part of a terrorist organization. She's part of Hamas and shit. That's crazy. Yes, the cartel, also known as CJNG, was designated as a foreign terrorist organization by U.S. in February. Campo and Cincy appeared Friday afternoon before a magistrate judge in New York who ordered them detained without bail. Their lawyers entered a not guilty pleas on their behalf. Over the past year, Campo and Cincy agreed to launder about $12 million in drug proceeds for the cartel and converted about $750,000 in cash to cryptocurrency, thinking it was going to go to the group when in reality, it went to the U.S. government. Damn. They did it. Damn.
Dude, these DEA agents suck, dude.
Damn, dog.
How do you get caught up with an informant? Isn't that your whole job in the DEA?
It didn't feel fishy.
Is you deal with informants?
You should know.
Exactly.
You should know. Like, damn, I did this. Oh my God. It makes no sense. It's like when I used to wait tables for years, but when I go to restaurants, the waiters, like whoever's waiting on me, they'll come by. You used to wait tables, didn't you? Oh, you could tell. I could just feel it. You the same way. You used to just feel the vibe. Like, oh, you a DEA, you an informant. I used to do this. I used to just know.
25 years. Like, what is the DEA if not a network of informants?
Also, they are old. We have to.
I mean, one of them is 75. This DEA guy is 62. That's not that old.
Yeah, 62. You're actually.
That's
62-year-olds scare me. 60-year-olds. I was watching this Mr. Beast video. It was 0 versus 100. Like they had all the ages fighting each other.
What?
Yeah. Like they had like every age 0 through 100, and they were like, "Who's gonna win? Which age is gonna win?" And the 60-year-olds were demons.
Yeah.
They had all these like the 60-year-olds were like, "You think I got to 60 by being a bitch?"
Yeah.
And like they were wiping the floor with like literally. I looked at 50s and 60s different after that video. I was like, "Yo, 70s and 80-year-olds are all old and sweet. They're like, I just had a good time." The 60-year-olds were like, "I'm here to kill."
Yeah, 60 you're like, I ain't done yet.
60s like you have all your power. You're like, okay, I feel like I'm deteriorating, but I still got my powers left. And so you have your mind and you have like your cunning and your experience.
Yeah. And you have your strength of just like your muscles. Like I've just been supporting you for so long that they're stronger than people give you credit for.
Old man strength is very fucking real.
Yes.
Never shake an old man's hand unless you want that shit crust to dust. But I'll continue. The two men also said they would. Oh, sorry, that's not where it was.
Over the past year.
I read half of that sentence. Think it was going to the group when it really went to the U.S. government. They also provided a payment for about 220 kilograms of cocaine they were told would be sold in the U.S. for about $5 million, thinking they would get a cut of the proceeds, prosecutors said. These drug enforcement, what does DEA stand for?
Drug Enforcement Agency.
These drug enforcement officers, maybe that they just took their job. They just like, no, I'm enforcing you to take drugs. Like maybe it's we work both sides of like, you know, the spectrum.
I work with drugs.
Yeah, it's just drugs in general. You know, a lot of people just think it's one side of it, but it's both.
Yeah,
you get people to do drugs, and you say, "I'm taking that drugs away. Don't do that." But you know,
a lot of people think we're all about stopping people from doing drugs.
That's a big misconception here at the DEA, the Drug Enforcement. The two men also said they will look into procuring commercial drones, AR-15 semi-automatic rifles, M4 carbines, grenade launchers, and rocket-propelled grenades for the car. Basically, whatever your Call of Duty loadout, these niggas was gonna get that for you.
The Trump administration deemed them a terrorist organization, and they're like, all right, we got to make them a terrorist organization. You heard our man Donald Trump.
Look, they do fucking mommy makeover or like a fucking one of those montages where like, not quite right. Yeah. Like, you put the gun on them, something, and they put the fucking a turban on.
Yeah, suicide bomb vest. Yeah,
that's
there we go. Just like we did in Syria.
It's like, it's a bomb vest. I'll just finish up here. Cincy's attorney, Amanda Kramer, unsuccessfully argued that Cincy should be freed while he awaits trial, saying he wouldn't flee partly because he has multiple health problems, including injuries from a fall 2 months ago, early-stage dementia, and type 2 diabetes. Cincy was convicted in the late 1980s and early 1990s of mail fraud, defrauding the government and stealing $2.5 million, said the prosecutor. He said the evidence shows Cincy also was engaged in a scheme to procure military-grade helicopters for a Middle East country. This guy, Cincy, he wasn't part of the DEA. This guy's been a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
He's just a bad guy. This is not.
So I got a little interesting scoop on this Robert Cincy guy. I was doing a little bit more Googling, and I found... So this is a guy's Substack. I'm gonna credit him.
He has.
No. This guy named Jay. Not Cincy.
Okay, I was like, damn.
He's not that much of a Renaissance man. He might have one. I'm not saying he doesn't have one. I don't want to be wrong. You know, he could. But I'm gonna reference an article on a Substack by a guy named Jack Powelson, and what his article was about this story, but he's focusing on this guy, Robert Cincy, and his claim is that he is CIA guy, CIA operative. So he linked several articles.
That would make sense why he has all access to all these fucking...
Exactly, right? He linked all these articles. You know, it was a Substack, so I was, you know, you gotta have a little grain of salt when reading independent journalism is great, but it is independent. So I was looking at all these articles he was referencing. It was like Washington Post and AP over the years that reference Robert Cincy. And it looks like all these credible news sources have over the years in various unrelated stories referenced Robert Cincy as a source, and it was stuff about the CIA, including the October surprise, which if you remember from U.S. history, was the Iran rescuing the hostages from Iran. The CIA, the October surprise was the theory that they specifically made sure to seal the deal on that rescue operation after Carter's administration was over and Reagan's administration was starting, so that Reagan can get credit for it, because the CIA obviously is going to be not with the woke ass Carter administration. And he was quoted on a newspaper like back in the 80s, like confirming that. So this man has been around and apparently has been tied with the CIA for a long time.
Lock this old nigga up. Keep him. Ain't the bullshit ass excuse. He fell last week. This nigga is procuring milk. They trying to make this nigga seem like he's just a feeble old. This nigga is a demon. Military helicopters, of course. Like, how the fuck
to a Middle East country? What country?
I mean,
it makes a difference.
The thing that gets me is like, okay, now I'm just gonna go. Okay, if one because this was it wasn't just a DEA agent, right? It was like
a DEA agent and this guy who the article doesn't mention who this guy is. They're like a DEA agent named da-da-da and Robert Sensi, some guy who's 75 years old. Anyways.
I'm just like, okay, if one DEA agent is capable of doing this, what are the other ones doing?
Yeah.
What are you just mean to tell me this is the only guy? I mean, I'm sure there's always corruption. There's endless cycles of corruption. But I'm just like, damn. We give these guys too much power. And I guess that's probably the ubiquitous nature of the job where they're allowed to like fraternize with, that's probably part of the job, having to hang out with unsavory individuals is probably really easy.
Yes.
To just be like, actually, I know you're a terrorist here, but you need any of that shit.
Yeah. They're like, hey, by the way, are you wearing a wire? Actually, never mind. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to even ask. That's on me. That was rude of me to ask you if you're wearing a wire. I apologize. I'll never ask you that again.
Oh, yeah. Arming terrorists is actually just my passion.
Well, if there's two broad takeaways from today's episode, one that we already covered of the increasingly dumber lies and the made-up terrorist organizations of Antifa and Cartel del Sol. I think the other theme should be the real terrorist organization, the CIA, and how they all the trails always lead back to the CIA, including just this past week that shooter who killed that Fed in DC, and all of a sudden Trump is trying to ban all the travel from the Afghan. Yeah, he was a CIA guy as well. He was doing the night raids. He was doing the dirtiest of the dirty work in Afghanistan, which was being done by the CIA. And he again, all roads go back to the CIA, not Cartel del Sol or whatever the fuck. So let's move on to we're going to Phoenix, Arizona, reading from Fox 10. How Arizona law enforcement can use warning shots despite Shannon's law. Arizona law enforcement agencies have the option to fire warning shots, but it's a rare and controversial tactic. Until November, the Sedona Police Department allowed the practice under specific circumstances, but policing experts argue that firing a gun into the air to deter threats conflicts with state law. This is one of those things where you learn about the police where you're like, oh, I didn't even know this. I didn't know this was a debate.
Yeah, recklessly firing a gun.
Firing a gun into the air.
They don't even do that in Kentucky derbies. They have fake guns because they know. They're like, okay, well, we'll kill a horse if we do this. So the fact that the police are like, but it's scary, it's loud and it's scary. The criminal go, no. And they say, not me. And then they say, I'll stop.
It's another example of cops just having too much fun.
Yeah.
Like you can't go into being a police officer because of these reasons.
Well, they want to be cowboys. They want to be like fucking badass, I'm a fucking the way they picture themselves is like just fucking boom, I'm here. Like make like they're making an inch. Everybody, I'm here. You see this? I got the power. It's like it's a power move. Yeah. It's like you're trying to it's just such a fucking,
I mean, it's got to feel badass. You pull up to the scene, bow, 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 bow. Like, of course you're going to want to do that.
Also, I should be able to do wheelies in my cop car. I should be able to do donuts.
But we've discussed this, like cops like crashing into other people in car chases. Also a thing that is insane.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That is not helping anyone.
They all want to live like they're like Will Smith and Martin Lawrence and Bad Boys. And they're just like, shooting, but they're not funny and they're not as charming, and they recklessly put people in life. They're killing real people. At least when Martin Lawrence and them do it, they're actors on a movie set, and it's not real. But they watch that and they go.
I mean, Will Smith is kind of about it a little bit. We know that now. I I mean,
but Will Smith more gangster than the cops because the cops shoot. This nigga will
walk up to you on live television.
Objectively more insane than anything anybody has ever.
Lock up Will Smith. Will Smith, turn in your gun in your bag.
Yeah, no, to do that.
We should have never given you a gun in a bag.
Yeah, Will Smith somehow slapped all of us. They spoke, what the fuck? He sobered us up and was that real? Yeah, you got to be a psycho to do that. Much like to be a cop. But
yeah. Shit. What was I gonna say?
Yeah.
Fuck, I forgot. We always get distracted. I got distracted on the Will Smith shit. But yeah, I remember now. So the article references Shannon's Law. And it's exactly what you would think. Anytime there's a law that's like named after some kid, it's like, oh, the law that we now have because this kid died. Right. And yeah, a cop shooting, or actually, I don't know if it was a cop. It might not be. I don't know. Y'all can look it up. But the point is, a little girl died playing in her backyard because a bullet just fell from the sky. Because when you shoot a gun into the air, no matter how badass it feels, that bullet doesn't just disappear. It's like cops don't have, what is it called when like babies, like why peekaboo works for babies? Because
they don't have object
permanence, yeah. Right? When they don't realize, like when a bullet, just because you can't see it anymore, doesn't mean it's just gone from the world. Yeah. That bullet comes back down. That's why I am on the side of not firing warning shots, because you could kill a fucking little girl. But apparently it is an ongoing debate
I'm looking to see
if
she was shot by a cop, and there's no mention of who shot her, which means it was a cop.
Yeah, could be. Either way. That's our episode, folks.
That's the episode, gang.
Thanks for listening. Go on our Patreon.
Yeah. Sure, yeah.
Which we'll be hopping over to right now.
Peace.